Friends, family, community members across our state are coming together to remember a fallen Connecticut State Trooper today.
Yes, Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier will be laid to rest today. If you remember, he was killed in the line of duty last Thursday by a hit-and-run driver. He was right outside of his cruiser, and he was hit. They have found the suspect, and now the whole central focus of today is on remembering the life and the legacy that he leaves behind.
And the procession has started a little bit earlier than expected, but we have live coverage, of course. We have our own Olivia Schuler is there, and Marcy Jones, and also Dylan Fearon is there. And right now we're going to send it to Dylan, who is at the funeral home.
Yes, this is the Della Vecchia Funeral Home in Southington, where the procession just stepped off. Dylan?
Hey guys, their procession just left a couple of minutes ago. They made a right turn here onto North Main Street, also known as Route 10 here. They're going to head to I-84 and head over to the Xfinity Theater in Hartford. And now that the procession has left, there are still some people here who have, they were either walking their dogs or walked over just to watch as everything happened, pay respects to Trooper Pelletier's family and all of Connecticut law enforcement. Some were very emotional. Some just wanted to see what was happening and make sure that they honor the family. A lot of people from Southington here to pay their respects as well. We spoke to one man just a few minutes ago who worked in the Department of Corrections for a long time, now retired. He's from Southington, knew the family, knew many people involved in Connecticut law enforcement in this area. And he was nearly brought to tears, said that when he thinks about this moment, he thinks of not just Trooper Pelletier, 34-year-old, who lost his life way too soon, but that he has a wife, 2 young children who have to go on without their husband and their father. So the procession now down North Main Street, down Route 10, heading to I-84, and eventually in about half an hour or so, guys, will make its way to the Xfinity Theater in Hartford for the funeral services. Guys, we'll send it back to you. We'll have much more on this coming up in just a bit. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Dylan.
Thank you, Dylan.
And the live pictures you are looking at now are right outside the Xfinity Theater in Hartford. This is where the Trooper First Class, the funeral for fallen Trooper Pelletier will be taking place at 11 a.m. So again, the procession just started off at Della Vecchia Funeral Home in Southington. It will be making its way on 84. There are a lot of local stops as well. Here's the map of that procession route.
Yeah, and the Connecticut State Police Union is encouraging the public to celebrate Pelletier's life, service, and sacrifice by attending the service today, so you still have time to get there. Just know that if you're going to be on 84, that there are going to be probably extensive delays as this procession makes its way from west to east towards Hartford.
And they do have a designated area for people to park for those who do want to go to the funeral at the Xfinity Theater. Hartford police are going to be assisting with that, we know. And at this point, you know, if you're at home and you're watching and you're not going to be able to make it in Hartford, we will be continuing our live coverage and carrying the funeral live. In fact, that coverage will kick off officially right now with Kara Sunland.
Kara, how are you doing? Take it away.
There's a wife and 2 young children now without a husband and their father. And so this community, of course, is heartbroken right now. There's also a memorial right here outside the funeral home, if we can just show that quickly, that is now just gained so many extra balloons and American flags and flowers, along with a state police cruiser. So, Kara, the procession left a few minutes ago down Route 10. They'll head to I-84 and make their way to Hartford in about a little less than half an hour or so. And I'm sure we'll have much more coverage on that as they make their way to the capital city. Kara, we'll send it back to you.
Dylan, thank you so much, and we will keep in contact with you. I know it has been such an emotional day. It's actually been an emotional week since Trooper Aaron Pelletier was killed last Thursday, so it'll be a week ago tomorrow. Right now, I would like to bring in Lieutenant J. Paul Vance, and thank you so much for being here. I was just asking, as we begin this solemn coverage, unfortunately, you've done this way too many times, both being a trooper yourself to later on being the spokesperson for the state police. Can you describe just the heaviness, the emotion, what's going on as people are standing there to honor Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier, who died way too soon?
Well, it's a very difficult situation for everybody in law enforcement, and you see one of your own lose their life in the line of duty. Every single person, regardless of whether it's a state trooper, a local officer, or a federal officer that leaves their home, says goodbye to their family and says, I'll see you later. Trooper Pelletier, I'm sure, did the same thing to his wife and his 2 boys. I'll see you later, never to come home.
Yeah.
That's the hard, sad part. As he performed his duty to protect and serve, he never had the opportunity to come home to his family. Everyone in law enforcement lives that every time they go to work. Every single day.
Every single day, yeah.
And it's hard. There have been too many of these in Connecticut, too many of these across the country, where law enforcement officers have lost their life. And it never gets easier, and you never, ever forget.
Never, ever. And that's exactly why we're on air bringing you every moment of this procession and this funeral, because that is something that every state trooper deserves, as he was going out, as you said, just to protect and serve us. I think what's even so difficult about this case, he was so young, 34
Yes.
years old, little boys, Troy and Zachary, his wife Dominique, huge family guy. I actually have told this story, but I had the opportunity to meet him once because I called 911 for help after an errant tractor trailer tire flew off across 84 and hit my car. I never thought, I only saw him that one time. I remember him being kind and reassuring and letting him know I was lucky that it didn't hit my windshield. But he was so young, only 34 years old, and he's just conducting a traffic stop.
Yes.
So traffic stops, you think, are not that dangerous, but in fact, more and more, it's one of the leading causes of death for troopers.
It definitely is, and quite frankly, as a young trooper myself, and I won't tell you how many years ago, but quite frankly, I can remember the first funeral I had to attend was a trooper making a traffic stop that got hit by a tractor trailer truck. I'll never forget it. And I was a young trooper, and I attended the funeral, and it's etched in your memory. There's nothing that makes it go away. And the other thing too that's important is it hurts everybody in law enforcement when this happens, but it hurts the people in the state of Connecticut too. There are many, many people that support law enforcement, and it even branches outside across the country. When a trooper or an officer in any law enforcement agency loses their life in the line of duty, it simply stated it hurts everybody.